Let me tell you what happened to me today. You guys, I'm telling you, you're not going to believe this story. I'm still having trouble wrapping my brain around it. Today, I was going to the supermarket and grab a few stuff. I parked my car. When I parked my car, I was driving in the parking lot, and there was a man that's kind of in my way, so I kind of slowed down my car down. He moved out of the way. He let me pass. He wanted me to pass. So I passed him. I parked it. Then he walked towards me. When he walked towards me, I opened my door. He said, hello. I said, hello. And he said to me, he looked at me. He was like, sir, can I talk to you? I said, sure. And he's like, look, you have I'm kind of shy to say this, but he was kind of like praising me. He was telling me like I had a light to me, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say everything he said, but he's saying to me like there was something. He wasn't not hitting on me or anything like that. He was just kind of like telling me he felt something. Nothing. It didn't hit me at all like it was alphabet at all. Like I was just saying, look, you have a very something. And he said, he started talking about God. He started telling me, look, now I thought he was a fan. He wants to take a picture, wants to talk, or talks all the fights. He wasn't a fan, doesn't know anything about MMA. Because I ended up talking to him after. He knows nothing about MMA. Nothing. Okay? He walks up to me. He's like, look, he's like, I can't even tell you. Like, he just started talking to me about like God. And I was like, okay, yeah, I understand you. He's like, everybody believes in God. Craziness, because that's my philosophy. Now he might have heard my philosophies. I don't believe atheists exist, whatever. He didn't get into details. He's like, everybody believes in God. Some people call it this, some people call it that. So look, I didn't want to get into the discussion with the guy. I'm just here to buy my groceries. But he started telling me, I want to write down a message for you. I'm like, okay. He takes a piece of paper. He had a little notebook with me. Writes a piece. He had like a wallet. It wasn't a notebook, it was a wallet. He puts out a piece of paper. He writes something on that piece of paper. Guys, I'm telling you, this is 100% true. He writes something on that piece of paper. I can't see what it is. He crumples it up. He gives it to me. So I take it. I'm holding it in my hand now. He's like, keep that message for you. It's a message from me to you for later. I'm like, okay. He's like, before I let you go, like, can I ask you a few questions? I'm like, sure, man, ask me your questions. Now, you have to understand, I'm holding the piece of paper. I'm like, okay, this is weird. He starts asking me, a bunch of questions about me. And he's like, okay. He's like, what's your favorite flower? Like, do you have a favorite flower? I'm like, yeah, sure. Favorite flower? Now, my favorite flower is the white lotus. But I didn't say white lotus because I have another favorite flower that I like almost just as much, which is the tulip. I like the tulip a lot too. I'm not sure but I like the tulip. Let's say I like it equally good. But I could have also said white lotus. I could have also easily said that. But I didn't. I went with tulip. And then we kept talking. He's like, okay, your favorite color. I said, okay, my favorite color is blue. And he's like, give me your favorite number. Now, I went deep in my mind because I know most people say 7. I know about mentalism. Like, I've researched it in the past. Okay. So I said to him, my favorite number is 19. And then he asked me, okay, tell me what you pray for. I said, no, that I won't tell you. He's like, tell me a wish you have, something you want. I said, that I won't tell you. That's too personal. He asked me other questions. I'm like, no, that I'm not going to tell you. So he started talking to me. He kept telling me other things like about his faith and when he saw me, etc. He's like, tell me what you want me to pray for you. I said, you can pray for whatever you think is like. I didn't want to get into too deep of a discussion. Like, it was kind of like too personal. Then he's like, okay, can you look at the message I gave you? Now, guys, I'm holding it in my hand this whole time. Now, you have to remember, like, this guy was telling me he has no powers. Like, look, I don't have any powers. I don't know. I'm like a dog on a leash. When God pulls my leash, I listen. I don't move on my own, he told me. Whenever God sends me a message, I have to say it. I saw you drive by. I wanted to talk to you. I was like, he's like, open your hand. Like, check your message. Now, you have to understand, he gave me this message. Then we dialogued. We dialogued. He asked me weird questions. I answered them. I'm still making my fist is still, I have not unraveled this fist. I open my hand and the little note is there and I unravel it. When I unravel the note, It said tulip blue 19. Mind blown. Guys, I know a lot of you are like, oh, the trick. Guys, I'm telling you, I know every mentalist trick. I even researched this is a new one. After I got home, I was like, this must be a new trick. They found a new way to. Mentalism is an interesting trade. I know a bunch of tricks. I'm very into I don't practice magic, but I like to know how they do things. I've been to Las Vegas. I've seen the top magic shows. I know some stuff is like mind-boggling, crazy, but this is not a trick. This is like statistically, like, don't tell me, oh, well, there's only 7 major colors, and oh, well, there's only a certain number of flowers. Guys, I could have said any flower. You look at a guy like me, you're going to guess a guy like me likes a tulip? You're going to guess? You're going to look at me and be like, I know this guy would pick tulip. That's insane. And here's the other thing. He asked me other questions, and I refused to answer certain other questions. And those were not on the paper. It was only the 3 questions I answered. Because I'm telling you, he asked me like several questions. And I was like, no, that I want to answer, man. Try again. No, I want to answer that. The only 3 questions I actually answered were what's on the paper. Guys, I'm telling you, mind blown. Like, I know other mentalist tricks, okay, where they tell you, okay, like they're controlling the paper, they're writing it down, and after I don't even want to get into how they do it. It's pretty simple. But he wrote it down, gave it to me. He never touched that paper again, because the way the mentalists do it is they'll tell you like, okay, I'm gonna write down your favorite. Tell me what's your favorite color, and you're gonna tell him. No, sorry. The way they do it is like, they'll tell you, okay, give me your favorite color. You say blue. They put an arrow down. They put a down arrow. They put an arrow. And they pretend like they roll blue. Okay, so blue. Oh, man, I don't even get it. It's too complicated. I'd have to do a visual. But there are mentalist tricks where they make you think. They guess what you think. And they did it. But this one is not a mentalist trick. It can't be. It can't be. You can't predict statistically. Write it down on paper. Hand it to me. And then guess and think that statistically I have a chance to win, to get this right. It's statistically unfeasible. Now, guys, you guys tell me in the chat room how you think it's possible you could do this. I'm listening. Jin, homie, Omi, I will tell you 100%. This guy has a jin with him. 100% he has a jin. 100% there's a jin with this guy. Let's call it 99%. Maybe he knows a trick you haven't seen yet. John Smith, how is it possible? That means he knows that the paper's in my hand. It's locked in my hand. Because all mentalist tricks, all of them, there's a point where they peak or there's a point where they're manipulating the papers. He never manipulated the paper. It was impossible for him to peak. He hadn't asked me the questions yet. "19 is a special number in Islam. That's some tanvir." Yes, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know I'm going to choose 19. I was more likely to choose 1 or 313. He didn't limit. He didn't say from 1 to 10. He didn't say. I could have chose anything. Maybe he watched these lives. John Smith, I asked my wife today, if you had to guess my favorite number, what would you guess? She told me the number 1. I go, exactly. That's what I would have guessed. If I knew me, I would guess number 1. I would guess number 1. It's my favorite number. It's the only number there is. I talk about it. It's my whole spiel. It's my whole philosophy. Yet, even my closest friends wouldn't know to pick those 3. Because I myself wasn't sure which one I wanted to pick. I have favorite flowers. I don't sit around to ask myself what's my favorite flower. I kind of like thought of which flower is the best, and I'm like, white lotus, lily. I could have went either way. I know this trick. JB19. Go ahead, JB. Give it to me. There's no way you know this trick. Just a cloud chaser. Not once I recall you talking about a tulip, Barnum. I've never mentioned the word tulip in any podcast ever. I've never mentioned an interview or anything. It's not possible. And I could have easily chose another flower. I could have said, oh, the lily. Wow, coach, you are full of stories. Today I am. Today. Guys, by the way, he was super broke, super poor. Like, this guy was not living large. No, this guy is like, he's a, let's just say, a man of not many means. Okay, he was just walking the streets. Ibn Sayyad. If you don't know him, you should look him up by now. Let me look him up. Ibn Sayyad. Okay, I'll look him up. Thank you. This does seem interesting. Oh no, I know this story. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Somebody in the Sira did the same thing to the Prophet ﷺ. He guessed the word. I know this story. I just didn't know his name was Ibn Sayyad. No, I'm very familiar with this. I'm gonna re-listen to it because I haven't listened to this in a long time. I re-listened to the story. But I gotta tell you something. This blew my mind today. I know a lot of you are gonna be like, "Oh, it's a trick." Explain the trick. Explain it. Explain it, genius. That's what I want to know. Show us the piece of paper. Okay, hang on, because I'm gonna show it to you because I saved it. Give me a second. Evidence. The evidence. I have the evidence. Give me one moment. Let's see here. This guy has no idea I'm going to be talking about what happened on a podcast. This guy has no idea. This guy's roaming the streets right now. He has no idea. Here it is. Can you guys see it? Is that too much light? Guys, when I saw this, tulip, blue, 19. Mind blown. This guy should be in Las Vegas doing shows. So go ahead, my genius friends from the internet. Go ahead. It's got to be Bluetooth ink. It can't. The guy doesn't know what's gonna come out. I guess you guys just don't get it. You guys just don't get it. It's not me who wrote it down and the pen was a trick pen that tells him what I wrote down. I didn't write anything down. He wrote it down, gave me a piece of paper. I didn't see he crumpled it up, gave me a crumpled piece of paper. I didn't see anything. Then he said, I have a message for you. He wrote down the message and handed it to me. I thought it was really weird. When he gave it to me, he told me, keep it. You're going to read it later. I said, okay, I'll read it later. I thought I was going to go do my groceries and read it later. I thought it was weird. Then he started asking me a bunch of questions. And I understand you could try to lead somebody to an answer. He did it. He didn't. He's like, maybe you have a favorite color. Why don't you tell me your favorite color? I'm like, blue. Then he asked me a bunch of, and I refused to answer those questions. If I did, they should have been on the paper, and they weren't. And he only had the questions that I answered. It's crazy. Subliminal messaging. No, it wasn't subliminal messaging. Coach, you are famous. Could he have not researched you? Salah, how would he know to research me and that my favorite color is blue? Like, when do I ever sit here and talk to you guys about my favorite colors? What podcast have I ever mentioned my favorite color, flower, and favorite number? And it's not even my favorite number. He just asked me your favorite number. My favorite number is 1, but I decided to say 19 because 1 from 1 to 10 is too obvious. I said 19. My favorite number is the number 1. I've talked about the number 1. And if you follow my podcast, let's say you're really strict on you just listen to everything I put out there, you would know my favorite number is 1. You would have wrote down 1. 19 doesn't make sense to a guy who doesn't know why I picked 19. Coach, what did you say to him afterwards? Well, because he blew my mind. I'm like, I could see he's hungry. He's like, he's asked me for food. I said, look, I'll buy you food. Come, like, because I was going grocery shopping. I bought him a bunch of stuff, snacks, nothing crazy. He bought some food. I gave him some food. He's a vegetarian. I gave him some food. I talked to him. Actually, I took his contact information. I said, maybe one day I'm gonna want to get in touch with you for whatever reason. He was a very pleasant guy, friendly guy. He was talking to me about, his, he believes in, his beliefs and this and that. Like, he believes in God. He believes God's sending him, in like this, like, not messages, but like inspiration to talk to certain people and say. I was like, man, my mind is blown. Like I didn't spend the day with the guy. I had to leave. I had to go do things. But I gotta tell you, my mind was blown.